What's up, dudes? This is Byron and welcome back to Byron's Bios. Tonight I am doing another movie review, focusing on reviewing a film that was released to Disney Plus this summer. It is a Broadway musical that has been taken to a whole new level, and that is Hamilton. Now, this original Broadway production is based on the life and career of one of America's founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton, who was an orphaned immigrant from the Caribbean island of Nevis or something, or Nevis, whatever. However, it is divided into two acts. The first act covers Hamilton's arrival in New York City back in 1776, his work in the Continental Army as an aide-de-camp to General George Washington during the American Revolution, and his courtship and marriage to Eliza Schuyler, who became Eliza Hamilton, The second act covers Hamilton's post-war work as the first Secretary of the Treasury of the United States, his affair with Maria Reynolds, the death of his son Philip, and finally his own death in duel with Aaron Burr. This modern version that has been going on since 2015 is blended with hip-hop, jazz, R&B, and also Broadway styles. With everything being said, all I could say is wow. Because this musical, even though it was taped in New York City in 2016, blew my mind. Every song, every scene, and basically everything else interested me a lot, I'm not gonna lie. My mom always wanted me to watch this movie with her when it was released on Disney Plus. I didn't want to do that as I wasn't interested in watching Hamilton at first for some reason, but I had later accepted the plan not too long before the film's release, since I found my interest in watching Broadway musicals for, teens and adults. What we basically did the day it was released, the musical itself gave me this interesting vibe, not only from its popularity, but also its originality that it has. The characters that the actors portrayed are great and likable. The music is phenomenal, especially hip-hop, because I love how they put in the show to add black culture in a classic musical that has been around for years, well, just as a book, which is killing white culture. Now, I'm not being racist or anything, because I am never against people based on the color of their skin or what country they're from, especially the way they act in their own form, no way. Every song, regardless on what genre the music in each song is amazing, and the choreography is delightful, and the story, including Hamilton's life, is well done. I would say the same with the cinematography. I like how the show features several characters based on real-life people who were around back in the 70s and 80s, where the actors would portray them in a very unique kind of way. Regarding Alexander Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda did a fantastic job as him. Philippa Sue, did so well as Eliza Hamilton. Christopher Jackson did a phenomenal job as George Washington. Jonathan Groff was so great as King George III, even with his the song that he would sing in the musical was so good. Well, it was hilarious too, where he would sing at times. Leslie Odom Jr. was splendid as Aaron Burr, and Davy Diggs did a nice job as Thomas Jefferson. And what can I say? When it comes to musicals these days, they bring in a lot of phenomena in most certain ones, whether it's from Disney, a motion picture based on a musical production based on pop culture, or any musical that's considered original, Even over time, we've been entertained by many performers who performed in certain shows that have been on Broadway. Sure, not all musicals are good, same with movies, but the industry has been sort of my interest for quite some time. I remember seeing several musicals that we would go and watch. In fact, some of my loved ones were actually in some shows that they got to perform in them. They got to perform in some of them, 101 Dalmatians, Annie. In fact, I saw it twice since, some of my loved ones were actually in it. Well, just in different years, but, Aladdin, A Year with Frog and Toad, The Buddy Holly Story. In fact, I actually saw it this year, and one play that my brother was in regarding a wolf who had to go to court for some trial. I just can't remember the name of it, though. I also remember being in choruses in a few kids' musicals, but let's not get to the reason I had to be in a chorus instead of being on stage. Overall, Hamilton is the best of the best Broadway musical I had ever seen in my life. Well, just as a recording of the musical. Although I had never read the book that came out in 2004, but I am aware that it's interesting enough, so I might look into that in the future. As a Broadway musical itself, it went on tour several times, has been performing in several cities and countries, and just like with shows in general, each cast member would remain or be replaced over time. What's also best about it is that they have the music on records. Yeah, I'm talking about, like, you know, the one for a record player. Like, I'm not joking. I actually saw it for sale when we shopped at a record store one time, and it blew me away when I realized that they were selling it. With everything out of the way, I'm giving Hamilton 5 out of 5. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on Disney Plus if you have the platform. Except it is rated PG-13 because of the language and some of the suggestive material. What I did find out is that if Disney Plus didn't change anything to the film, it would have been nothing but an R-rated film. So it's fairly understandable about why they wanted to avoid that rating for a streaming service that is considered as like a target for, you know, is like something that's targeted to families. But I have a feeling that it would have been both fine and different at the same time. I mean, I do recommend this movie for teenagers and adults since the Broadway musical is targeted to older audiences, and what can I say? I'm one of them. Now, before I wrap up the review, here's this last fun fact that I want to throw off. Hamilton was originally set to be released theatrically in the fall of next year, but somehow Disney decided to put it on their new streaming service this summer in honor of Independence Day, which it was a very weird move, to be honest. But, like, at the same time, it's reasonable how they wanted to release something American-related for a holiday in July like this. They also did say that they would release it to theaters and on home video by next year. That's probably possible. So, if that's the case, I might try to see the film if it does come out in cinemas or, you know, in a movie theater, even though it's already on Disney Plus anyway, but it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching Byron's Bios. Like, seriously, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you are new here, check out my content if you can, and this is me, Byron, signing off. Stay safe and peace.